So I just pulled out our milk from yesterday, and I'm going to skim the cream on it because one of my tasks today is to make butter. We are going to skim the cream off the milk from yesterday. I've got a little bit here, but then I've got some more in the fridge, and I am going to use it to make butter today. So that will be super fun. Super easy process. But see, you can see the cream line here. From here to here is cream. So I'm going to get as much off of that as I can. And here's this one. Oh, I think we might have one more too, a small one. You can see to there. That's the cream line. Yeah. Okay. So in the baby jars, we don't get really as much cream line. So I usually just leave that. My fingers are dirty. My fingernails. I need a mani. All right. Garden dirt is my mani. All right. So I'm just using this little ladle to get down in here and get as much off as I can. And when I start seeing some of the milk come into the ladle with the cream, that's usually about when I stop. All right, so it's kind of starting to mix. So now I'm just going to dump some of the little jar in there so we can rid ourselves of a jar. It's a little icy in the fridge. We have so many jars in our fridge right now. And then whatever's left, I just mix up. And that'll go back in there. Oh, the cream is so good. It's so thick and rich. It makes amazing butter. And I have 3 jars, and that, I think last time 3 pints gave me a quart of buttermilk and 2 sticks of butter. We'll see what it does for us this time. I'm not wasting no cream around here, okay? So now we're done with this. Done with the skim. And I won't skim it again. So when it sits in there, it'll separate again. When you put it in the fridge, it will separate again. But I leave that. I don't skim that again because we like to have some fat in with the milk. So there is our skimming. Next, we will make butter. Mo butter, mo better, right, Poe? Time for the butter, which is such a simple process. I mean, I guess it can be simple no matter what tool you have, a churner or even just a mason jar that you shake or whatever, stand mixer, hand mixer. I have a stand mixer, so that's what I use, but you can use whatever. All right, so I'm just going to put my, whatever this is, this attachment on, the whisk attachment. Put it up there, and then I have 3 pint jars of cream that I've skimmed off of our milk. You can use heavy whipping cream. It did not work for me as well as obviously fresh cream does. Fresh cream is just amazing. I 10 out of 10 recommend. So anyway, I'm just going to dump all of this cream into the mixer. Stir mix a lot. And I actually will probably get a spatula to get it all out because I don't want to waste any. This might be the most I've ever done. Yes, yep, just set it right there for me. Thank you. I need a little mini spatula. I don't have one. It would be way easier for these jars. I usually like to wait to do butter till I have about 3 jars of cream. You can do it with whatever, but I just like to do a bunch at once. All right, so we've got all of that in there. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get, this is one of my little towels I use for, it's like a tea towel, and I use it for bread making. I like these because they're big, and I'm just gonna throw it over this because we got like it spinning pretty fast, and it will splatter. So I'm just gonna cover it. I'm gonna turn it on probably speed 6 first for a while, and then I'll come back, show you, sorry I hit this, show you our progress, what I do, and then we'll go from there. So let's turn it on. Let's make sure the outlet's on first. We have an older house, so when it rains a lot, the outlet in here, like the GFI, cuts off. That's probably dangerous, I don't know. But it turns off, and so this doesn't work when that happens. So now we can turn it on. So we're gonna sit and we're gonna let it spin until it gets to like the whipped cream stage. And then I'll come back and show you what we do. Okay, so this is what it looks like. We started with liquid cream, and now we are at the whipped cream. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add just some sea salt. This is just what we have. You can use whatever kind of salt you want. So you're gonna salt with your heart, okay? We're gonna salt as much or as little as you want, or not at all. Some of y'all crazy is like unsalted butter, and I don't know. I don't know what to do with that. So if you like it, do it, okay? But I'm salt mine with coarse sea salt. You can salt it with whatever you want. And then I'm just gonna turn it on again, and we're gonna leave it going until it starts to separate. So you'll have your chunky butter separating from the buttermilk, and that's when we'll stop it and start forming it. Now, keep your eye on it because you don't want it in that state, the separated butter and buttermilk state, for a really long time, or it kind of starts to break down. So check on it, and then as soon as you see that happening, start working with it, and I'll show you how to do that. So we'll turn it back on and let it go. Okay, so here is where we are stopping. We have our buttermilk, and then we have our separated butter. Also folding towels as we wait. But that's where we're going to stop mixing and then move on to the forming and cleaning process. All right, so what I'm going to do is take it off now, and I'm going to dump the buttermilk into a glass. This is just the easiest way that I have found to do this. You may have some fancy contraption to help you, but I don't, so I use my hand. All right, so I've got more in here, but I'm only going to save a quart because honestly, we just won't use more than that. So there's our buttermilk. It is a little different. I'll show you in a clear jar. You can see the difference. See how the buttermilk's darker? Do I know why? No, but it is. So here's what we're left with, the goods. Now, what I have found, the trick to being, I guess, successful, I don't know, because the first time I did this, I didn't feel like I was successful, but it did make good butter. But the key is keeping everything cold, okay? So when you use your cream, get it right out of the fridge and use cold cream. And then I have a bowl full of ice water right here, and that's what I'm going to keep this in between, what do I want to say, milking the butter, between squeezing the butter and getting all the excess buttermilk out. The trick is keeping everything cold. So cold cream, cold ice bath. You kind of want it to be more hardened when you're doing this. It just makes it easier. And usually what I'll do is I will give it a few squeezes first, kind of put it in a ball shape, and then stick it in here and let it sit for a little bit. I'll go around and do some things, come back, squeeze it, put it back in here, go do some things, come back, squeeze it. So what you're squeezing, what you're trying to do is to get all of the leftover, well, as much of the leftover buttermilk out as you can. So when you squeeze it, and I'll show this, you'll see that it has, when you squeeze it, you'll see buttermilk come out of it. You really just want to squeeze it until you don't see much of that left. And it just helps your butter last longer. So anyway, I'm going to let this sit in the ice bath for a little bit and then come back and squeeze some more. We are done with the rinsing and all of that. I've done it about 3 times. The squeezing and the rinsing and the squeezing and the rinsing. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of break it up and put it into the mold. And this is kind of the most I've ever gotten. So I literally just kind of break it apart and squish it down in here. So it is firm because we've kept it cold, but it's moldable. So that's good. And then you may have buttermilk that squeezes out on the top as you're doing this. If that's so, just wipe it off. But that's literally it. So it's not a hard process, it just takes a little bit of time. All right, so we've got 2 sticks there, and then this little bit left. This little bit I'm just going to put into a little container, put in the fridge, because it's not enough to make a stick. So anyway, I'll just do that and we'll use it. We'll use it that way. But anyway, I'm just going to stick this back in the fridge, let it firm up, and then we can wrap it just like we did the other ones. But there's our butter.